Okay, I'm going to show you how to do a wedge increase with a single peg. You can do this on a long loom as well, so don't worry if you see this as an X loom and you don't have one. You may want to learn to increase and decrease on a loom with a single peg, okay? So what you want to do is you want to knit over to that wedge, okay? And the first thing you want to do is you want to do like a twin knit. You want to pull back the previous stitch, which is right there. Okay, so you're going to pull that back. Don't let go of it. You're going to put that working yarn in front of the peg. Alright, and then you're going to take and put back the stitch you just pulled over. Alright, then you're going to pick that stitch up you just created and move it over to the previous peg. Then you're going to knit the wedge peg. Then you're going to go over here to the next peg and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to pick up the previous stitch and you're going to pull it back. You're going to put the working yarn in front of that peg and you're going to place that little stitch back. Then you're going to pick that up, that stitch you just created, and move it to the previous peg. Then you're going to knit that peg. Okay? Now at this point you want to loosen your washer and you want to push down. Okay? Then you want to pick up that stitch you created here and pick up the stitch you created here. Okay? And you've now just done an increase. I do like to go in and tighten up my stitches. Okay? And that is how you go about doing an increase on a single wedge peg, okay? And what you get is, you can see that I've done this a few times, you barely notice it, okay? And that is how you do that. Now, if you want to do a single wedge decrease with it, it's actually even easier. You push that wedge down one notch, okay, and tighten it. Then you're going to take these stitches and put them onto the single wedge peg, and then you're going to knit 3 together, okay, when you go to do that. Alright, so that's how you do a wedge decrease with a single peg. And so that's actually not really difficult on that one. The increase I figured would be the more needed more explaining on how to do that, and as you can see, that isn't too difficult as well. But that is how you do a wedge increase with a single peg and a wedge decrease with a single peg. And you can do that on the X loom and you can do that on the long loom. And this is the 5/8 inch gauge, and I think that it'll work for the 3/4 inch gauge. Okay, but most of the gauges that are smaller than that, between 1/2 inch and down, is 2 pegs. And if you want to watch the basic techniques for the X loom, you can see how to do the wedge increasing and decreasing with 2 pegs. And again, they work for the long looms as well as the X looms, okay?